said, "Welcome to the world according to Bob." I got to do the opening.
Alright. Alright. And I get to do the ending. But I've, and it will be brought to you this, it will be a message from past Bob about a promotion he'd like to do. A message to the Watchtower database boys. Well, we get to talk about my story. Gotta put this over there. We get to talk about my story. We get to talk about Jupiter Jet and my dream for that. How this might be the last issue I have. Or, because, I don't know. I hope I have. But, you know. Either way, it was a good book. I'll spoil that for you right now. But, yeah. As you all know, I thought that Red Knight was the answer to watch. Black and white Red Knight. Black and Black and white Red Knight. God, that sounds weird to say. Kinda had very Ninja Turtle-esque, very gritty feel to it. The putting it in color, as much as I enjoyed the colorized book, I really did, because you can appreciate the action scenes more. But I know Justin Cristelli ain't gonna watch this, but I'm doing it because I genuinely did enjoy this book. Thank you very much, Mr. Cristelli, if you do watch this. Unlike Jason Inman, he doesn't watch me. I do. I've done Red Knight before here on this channel, but you know, it is what it is. It was an enjoyable book, but you got to appreciate the action scenes a lot less. And at the same time, it was one I could still see a few of my characters, because they were designed to be Red Knight. I guess you'd call them fan characters in that world when um I originally wrote them. Now they're my own thing, but um yeah, if I ever get that lucky and my characters get to cross over with, pardon me, a few of these, god damn, a few of these independent characters, I still would like for one of them in particular to, it's the one that survived everything in my mind. Um, but I'd love it if they were part of the Red Knight world. I mean, I loved how he gave it an extra cover. This wasn't the original cover of number 4. No. Number 4 was the red knight, like, jumping off a roof or something. And there's a chess piece. Anyway, 5 was my favorite, though. Of the original 9 colorized ones, I mean, it it wasn't as it it was more action packed. Let's put it that way. And like I said, I don't know if I want to pick it up because the action scenes weren't as effective. But um, yeah, I probably will. I don't want to speak for future Bob because you never know. You never know what might go down. They might end up suffering the dogs and sailors fate, where that was a book also published by Primal Paper. This isn't published by Primal Paper anymore, by the way. Um, Also published by Primal Paper that you can't really get to. I've tried to talk to Manos and be like, hey, you should publish Dogs and Sailors in color, but even he still has trouble tracking it. I don't think a colorized version was ever made. I know the Dogs and Sailor guy died, but that's neither here nor there. I just hope it doesn't get that fate where it's hard to find now. And yeah. Anyway, I'll give it a 4. No half number, just 4. Because it didn't have stuff like, as far as we could tell, the uh, the writer dyeing his hair and hiding in the background. Again, this book, I'll be happy when there is a Jupiter Jet trade, like 1 through 5. You can get it. I don't know if you can get it now, but it would make it easier to track down. That's why I was implying the other one. But it needs a big book. I mean, I appreciate the art in the back and stuff like that, but I want to see it all together as one big performance. And I am I worked on a character in my head. I haven't even put it to paper yet. I've already worked out one for Jupiter Jet's opposite number. It could be. I don't want to give away the name because I don't want Inman to use it quite yet. Because, you know, why couldn't I see those characters in this world? Is my characters, especially one of the main ones, which originally started out, the basic idea was I almost said his name, was the Hulk and Venom all put into one. But you can't have the Hulk and Venom in poor Jupiter Jet's world. But you can have one that has a jetpack And is it her opposite number? That's what this needs. It needs, like, a wormhole opening up and him pouring out. I I hope someday, Mr. Inman, that you keep this going long enough that my characters can cross over with that too. Just a dream of mine. Anyway, um, I liked them both. I would still like to see both the Red Knight and Jupiter Jet to be owned by, like, a Marvel or Disney. I almost said Marvel or Disney. They're the same thing. Um, Mar- Marvel or DC. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. With Jupiter Jet, you can definitely see this on Earth 5 or Earth S. As, as you old school fans, I mean, really old school fans, would say. I mean, it wouldn't be like an Earth 15 on our last book, but it would definitely be a Earth. You know, it would be a good, more palatable Earth than that. Anyway, um, this I wanted to do a very merry multiverse in this video, but that's like 8 different stories. 10 different stories, and I don't know if I could. I wanted to point out how much it was lacking in Bart, and I don't know. I haven't made all the way through the book yet, but I still think that the Batman Beyond universe was originally intended not to be Earth 15, but to be the main future of the comic cartoons. Screwing up a lot today, but again, hopefully you've made it through. So, could I see this story taking place in that? Absolutely. Jupiter Jet also gets a 4. All the books. I just realized I didn't do a score for that one. I enjoyed the extra material. But it's a shame because I don't, I don't think I think I either accidentally, I don't know what happened to it, but I, I won't be able to find the Jupiter Jet. I'm holding Batman, but talking about Jupiter Jet in time for October, whenever my mom's birthday is. She doesn't want me to say, but it is the same number, one more than the Brady kids. Just doing Brady Bunch math. Anyway, um, yeah, that is the day for you that we're here for a Jupiter jet. But anyway, back to Batman. I think this story could take. What I was saying was that um I think this story could take place in the main Batman Beyond continuity rather, and you know, Watchtower Database could be covering it in the future. Speaking of, you know what? I like that. I like that they addressed there are two boosters. Always there are two boosters. No more, no less, unless you include the one that's outside of time. Which, unless you're talking, see, it has a bunch of rules. Unless you're talking about the the dark universe, because then there might be no booster. Do you want me to cover the dark universe? I mean, I have quite a lot of those books now. They're like DC What If. Anyway, I'll be covering that in the future. Back to Batman. I liked. I didn't. I liked that they covered the booster got older, and I like that they give future booster a mustache so you can tell them apart. But at the same time, I didn't like that they didn't address where my favorite character was. Mom's favorite character got brought in, but where's Rip Hunter? I mean, yeah, where's Rip? Pardon. That's what I get for drinking on camera. It was juice. Anyway, I would like to see Watchtower databases. I want I want to see um JLA reunion special and Watchtower databases opinion on the last few pieces of the Batman Beyond universe. Yes, you've commented on like the necessary parts of it, but you forget one. And with that, Past Bob is about to tell you who you forgot and elaborate a little further on my general feeling about how they're going to bring back Bart eventually. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it anymore. More plain than that. Jupiter Jet needs to be in DC Universe. Batman Beyond wasn't originally intended to be Earth 12. Red Knight could function well in the DC universe as well. And here are my thoughts on the Zeta Project, is what we've learned today, kids. Go on, Bob. Go on, Bob. Hi. Okay. Here's the deal. I just watched Zeta Project. That ended on a cliffhanger. The My thoughts on that. Being a fan of Bart bec- becoming the Flash again. And I'm trying to remember the last time we've seen Zeta. And as a fan of the DC in general, DC is not opposed um to creating a character and just leaving them. They've done it with Magog. They've done it with Rip Hunter in regards to his mother. They've done it with Bart as the Flash because Bart shows up in one of the books and he's like in a wormhole and he tells Cassie long story, which means he'd have to go back to Infinite Crisis. Anyway, that's a whole different issue. They've done it with multiple characters. So if you fans of the Zeta Project really want your show back, more power to you. Um, Maybe he can run into Bart as the Flash one day. I don't know. Because Danica Williams was being trained by Bart in the Earth 12 comics. Earth 11 and Earth 12. Parallel reality. But even if we were to continue that particular line of thinking to its logical conclusion, that um, the they didn't originally create Earth 12 to be Earth 12. They created it to be the main continuity in the the comics. Wait, cartoons. Yeah, the TV. Anyway, the TV side of things. We'd definitely have to say at some point the Bart becomes the Flash again. Because how could he train somebody if he remained Impulse for the rest of his goddamn life? And as for Zeta, hope he finds his creator. I'd like to see the end. That's why I'm making this part of the video. Yeah. Um Zeta's still out there somewhere. Hopefully he doesn't end up like Elf where nobody remembers the ending. Or that Rocco's Modern Life movie that they'll forget about in like 10 years or so. I mean, it was a good movie, but I'll bet you Rocco gets forgot about. Anyway, that's my opinion on Rocco's Modern Life. Anyway, I also had thoughts about how the creeper would like function in that world. Because again, going back to Earth 12, because that's the closest thing we got, Jack Knight um is still alive too. He's if if we're bringing back Zeta, we gotta address what happens to Rose brother, because he's gonna hide messages and ensure people that this is the right thing to do. See, I don't typically do videos like this, talking about the animated, the TV side of things. I typically focus on the comic books, and that's where I'm more articulate, more self aware. But, um, yes, Maddie, I'd love to see a video on how you think the Zeta Project should end. Am I wrong? Should it not involve Jack Knight in any capacity? And how the media is not turned against Zeta? How they see him more as a hero? I know he has ideas. He's been Maddie's Maddie Washburn of the Watchtower database has been ruminating on this for numerous years, obviously. Yeah. Probably as long as I wanted Bart to become the Flash again. Hashtag bring back Zeta Project. Just did a hashtag. And where was Batman when he was like launching onto this rocket thing? And it's a spin-off of Batman, right? Where's Batman during all this? And he knows Zeta. He knows that Zeta's good. So billionaire Bruce Wayne could have his his way of, I don't know, thinking out there in the media. Um, I mean, granted, I'll give you Terry has his own problems, and I probably covered that in the video, but yeah, bringing back Zeta and helping Zeta out in that world would be nothing but a good thing. So that is to say, bringing back Zeta in our world would be nothing but a good thing, and helping Zeta out in that world would be so good. Anyway, I've rambled for long enough about how I would love to see a lot of dead characters come back not dead. They're you know out there in the ether. How um what's a superior Flash? How yeah, everything. Zeta would probably benefit from a renewal. If they're bringing Cat, if they're bringing Catwoman to have her own cartoon, then there's got to be at least one Zeta project. I mean, there's been like four Brother Powers. Four. The Geek, I did them all on this channel. The Geek, or I will do them at some point. The Geek, Swamp Thing, Brother Power, the two Brother Powers, and that Batman thing. So, and Dan Didio was a huge fan of Metal Men. So, you never know who's could be coming back. Like I hope I demonstrated. It has enough story potential. The Doctor's still alive. Come on, let him do one video. That is my thoughts. And we're back. I hope you understood all that. I really did enjoy all my books this week. I have a lot to go over. Christmas time, I generally do. I got a big haul. I really did enjoy talking about my story and what I intended to do with my characters. And I hope Mr. Inman and Manos. I realize I used his real name for the very beginning, but watch my video and um keep reading comics. Bob out. Yeah, I'll bet you that that Very Merry Multiverse doesn't have art in it. I mean, the one about the teens and Harley Quinn and the third Wonder Twin didn't, so I don't think it's funny. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Bye bye. Hi, everyone. I'm gonna keep this short. This video is already quite long, so here it goes. First off, I was right. No Bart whatsoever. No mention of a 53rd universe. Um, no mention of, like, for example, the Watchmen. Captain Carrot wasn't even in this. I mean, he's on the cover, but that's a lie. And you know how much I love when they lie. You don't need to lie to people. We're not stupid. Anyway, all of these stories sort of felt like they could have their own series potentially. Like they were pitching major stories that could be, well, most of them except the Lobo one, which I agree with. At the end, nice message. That's all I'm getting at. Anyway, um, I really, and also I really did mean well with that Zeta Project things in this video. I I watched a I watched the Watchtower Database's video on Zeta that basically answered all my questions. But again, I meant well. The guy's always been good to me, so I thought I'd be good to him. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that in here. Zeta wasn't mentioned, so don't even get that confused. I mean, Batman Beyond, again, felt like that could be part of the Batman Beyond that I read week to week that is mentioned in this video. That's how good it felt. I would have liked to seen a little mention of the Watchmen, maybe. I don't know what's going on the Watchmen Earth. How are they celebrating the holidays? You know, something like that. Maybe show Tempest Fuginot with the Linear Men putting up a Christmas tree. I don't know. Something nifty. Anyway, but otherwise, a few minor complaints and a couple creative ideas that I had. I like this book. It was a nice way to close out the holidays. Next, we'll be covering my thoughts on the Dark Multiverse, one of the Dark Multiverse books, because it kind of fits in with the whole stuff that should have happened vibe that I kind of got off. I kind of want to give off with this video. And we'll also be covering Rorschach in the new year. Got a big pile to get through. I think I already said that. Anyway, we'll get to it and have a happy new year. Bob out, but not forgotten.